All right, so in addition to my normal doctor's garb, today I'm wearing the Lakers number 77 jersey for the topic of this video today, which is Luka Doncic. He's been my favorite player for the last 6 years plus, back when he was on Dallas. Now, of course, he's on my favorite team, the Lakers, which is great. But on April 2nd against the Oklahoma City Thunder, he hurt his left hamstring. And today it's April 16th, so it's been 2 weeks exactly. Taxes are filed yesterday, and Luka is in Europe getting treatment on his hamstring. So I think the first question was, why did he go to Europe instead of being in the U.S.? He's got a lot of money, so that's what you need to have great healthcare in America. He went there because there's other therapies. There's regenerative therapies like stem cells, PRP, and in the U.S. these aren't approved or they're restricted. There's a lot of FDA approval that's still pending. So I know that Kobe used to go to Germany, I think, to get treatment on his knee and things like that. So this isn't new, but I was interested in what people are doing in 2026 and what exactly they're doing for Luka's hamstring. So I thought I'd share what I've learned in a simple way right here. All right, so I'm going to go through what I've found so far of the treatments that Luka's taking, and he may or may not be taking all of these, but I found about 6. So the first one is PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. This is from taking the patient's own blood. You spin around a centrifuge really fast, and it separates, so you get this plasma that has a lot of platelets in it. So what do platelets do? If you learn in biology, it's basically they are involved in clotting. When you get cutting, the platelets are what gets activated. But other than just that, they have a lot of proteins called growth factors. So these growth factors are what helps your body regenerate. They have like reparative cells that will be activated by these. So it's important normally, but when you're doing this process, you get about 5 to 10 times the amount of platelets in that blood. So when you give it back to the patient, you're going to see the regeneration happen a lot faster, is the theory behind it. I've never personally seen it, but this is what I've discovered. So the catch in the US is that you can't do this because the procedure is considered investigational. It's not approved by the FDA, but it's just the patient's own blood. So it's not a drug or anything. So you don't need formal approval, but it's not covered by insurance here. Not that it matters to Luka, since he's rich, he makes a lot of money. The second one, stem cells. So this, I think people have heard a lot about stem cells. Maybe you're not sure what they are, or you might have seen South Park and what they put in blenders. But really, stem cells, I'm not going to get into the types of stem cells, but what they do is so stem cells can become a lot of different types of cells. So there's a bunch of different stem cells, and then they specialize into specific things. So if you're able to put stem cell into the area, it's going to skip steps and get towards the healing rather than all the inflammation, scar formation, and things like that happen in between. You just get really quickly to the tissue repair. So again, in the US, we do use stem cell therapy, but it's approved for like cancers and things like that. There's not really like musculoskeletal injury stem cells in the US. So I think in Spain, there's some specific doctors that are kind of culturing the cells, aggressively concentrating them and administering them at higher doses than we do in the US. So that's the second one. The third one is called exosomes. So this is a cutting edge piece of protocol. I've never even heard of this until I was looking up Luka stuff. So these are these really tiny things that are like nanometer small, and they're doing some stuff where they're carrying some of the stem cells and they're helping the stem cells work, and it apparently works better together. I have no clue really what this is doing, but this kind of exosome therapy is supposed to be improving both PRP and even stem cells. The other things are hyperbaric oxygen chambers. I think Michael Jackson was famous for using this as sleeping at night. But this is breathing more pure oxygen. So at this higher pressure, the damaged tissue gets more oxygen. So it's like, again, they're just trying to speed things up a little bit. The other thing is red light therapy. We have one in our home too. It's like a thing you can get on Amazon. Maybe I'll put a picture up or a link or something. But yeah, so these red light therapy things are getting pretty popular to have at home, because apparently that there's low level wavelength of red light that penetrate the skin, and it directly stimulates your mitochondria. Anyone who grew up in the US knows that that's the powerhouse of the cell. That's what we call it. So it produces more energy for repair. I think it's supposed to be pretty helpful. I've heard good things from other doctors who have also used it themselves. And so the last technique that I heard about might be being used on Luka. Again, he hasn't tweeted or shared his exact treatment, but he is doing something also called cupping, supposedly. So this is a modern application of an ancient technique. This is you create suction on the body and it increases blood flow. So you'll see on a lot of athletes these days, they have like these red like circles on their shoulders or their legs. They had them on Olympic swimmers too. So it's just like short-term muscle boost by increasing blood flow. So again, thing you could do to the injured area on hamstring. So anyways, these are the things that I found out this week, and hopefully the Lakers are able to make somewhat of an impact in the playoffs. They start off against the Rockets this week, and yeah, if the Lakers somehow survive the first round, it would be great to see if Luka can come back maybe in the second round. And if he does, it'll probably be because of these cutting edge treatments that he's getting over in Europe. All right, thanks.